Well. Look at who is back. It's the Hock. The Hock has returned. It's nice to be back. I know these past, geez, it feels like, man, I don't know, 4 6 weeks. Been awfully occupied doing a lot of the Mash and Journey stuff. Tuesdays kind of seems to work well for Jason, and obviously it's kind of my time slot that I've had for it seems like forever. So we figure we'll just kind of roll with some of these. But now things are starting to kind of, I don't want to say slow down, but hopefully I'll be able to get back to just doing more regular kind of Tuesday night stuff and catching up with you guys and just kind of having some fun. So with it getting colder in my area here in Wisconsin, it's going to definitely be less going on in the evening. So it'll be fun to kind of get back and see you guys, kind of shoot the shit a little bit, have a good time, and then kind of go from there. So this is going to be kind of tonight is. I know everyone's kind of getting ramped up for Thanksgiving. There's probably a lot of people that are going to be traveling today, tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of a big day. I know that. Then obviously Thursday and the rest of the weekend, it'll be hopefully a really fun, relaxing time for not only myself, but for all of you guys and your families and all of that. I know it's a time to reflect, and it's unfortunate that it kind of seems to be, once or twice a year where we do a lot of that. But I'll tell you what, the older I've gotten, the more I start to appreciate kind of time. I know we're guaranteed time. We just don't know exactly how much that's going to be. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep on a good old Tuesday night. But I appreciate everybody being here. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody has some fun plans to meet with family, friends, kind of kick back, relax, take a few days off, hopefully, and spend some time again with friends and family. So let me go back to the beginning to say hi to a bunch of people who are in here. So Cato was first in. Good to see you. Mike, good to see you, buddy. What else we got? My man Jared Record from Barrel King. Good to see you, brother. Timmy, good to see you, Tim. Kitty's always in here. Always good to see Kitty around. My man Cam, there he is. Gobble effing gobble, y'all. Yes, sir. What else we got? Terrence, good to see you. A new patron of mine. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. What else we got here? Dougie, hopefully you're staying warm down there in the bayou. So Timmy already said. Hey John, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you as always, I should say. What else we got? The Waxter, how's it good? Hello again, whiskey friends. And if for some reason you guys have not seen Jeffrey's YouTube channel, definitely go and check him out. They do a lot of fun stuff. I want to get the guys on here and kind of have a fun Tuesday night, maybe talk about some different kind of whiskeys. We'll figure out a little plan, but get the guys on, have a good time. So that's what it's all about. So yes, sir. Cheers to you. What else we got here? How's it going, Chris? Good to see you, brother. My man JG, as always. Tony, good to see you. Dave, good to see you. Blind Squirrel, good to see you, brother. My man Sergey, where are you? You got to be in Europe or somewhere. Where are you jet setting at right now? I know you're always going somewhere. You can't be in Colorado. I can't imagine, but. Hey, there they are, the Bourbon Van. You guys, we gotta eventually get on a live stream and have some fun. So looking forward to hopefully that again one day. I know we did something briefly, but it wasn't very long. I'd rather kind of dedicate an entire live stream and have some fun with you guys. So my man Troy, how's it going? Pop 'em. And again, if for some reason you guys have not subscribed to Popham's channel, definitely get over there and do that. Same thing with the Bourbon Van if for you guys have not done that. Kim, good to see you. Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Nate, good to see you. Cheers, buddy. My man Mark, how's it going, brother? Happy Thanksgiving. Tim, good to see you. TJ, good to see you, brother. All right. My man Young, how's it going, brother? Good to see you. Dr. Robert, good to see you, bud. Or I don't know, maybe that's the last name, but Robbie D, the man, the myth, the legend. Hey Eric, good to see you, bud. Hopefully you're doing well. Jeffrey, how's it going, bud? Good to see you. Appreciate you kind of stopping in tonight. Yep, can't go wrong with the old Forester. Trooper, good to see you. All right, so I think I'm kind of caught up. If not, I'll kind of keep an eye on things. So, oh, you're back in Colorado. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Let's do something, whether it's in December or coming up, whatever. Have a good time. Adam, good to see you, bud. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so tonight's just going to be kind of a layback. So the question always is, you know, what is the whiskey of choice for you for Thanksgiving, the holidays, whatever it may be? I try to look at it a little bit different, only from the standpoint of, a lot of us eat a lot of the same kind of, things for Thanksgiving. And I was trying to think of something that I typically like to try to kind of pair with the food that I'm eating. I shouldn't say pair, because that makes it kind of sound like a little more snobbery. It's basically a whiskey and the food that will kind of play well with each other. And I think a lot of times with the rich kind of salty foods for Thanksgiving, I like to have something, honestly, that's got like a little bit of a finish to it, something that's maybe a little bit sweeter, something that kind of offsets the saltiness, that kind of rich, heavy food. The turkey can sometimes be a little salty. Same thing with like the casseroles and mashed potatoes. Those things are kind of heavy. Excuse me. So if I can find something that's a little on the kind of sweeter or finish side, I kind of like how those things kind of, play well. So, that's kind of my idea of, trying to, if I'm going to have whiskey, sometimes it'll be, wine, whatever it may be, but I want something that's going to kind of be, rather than kind of blend, I want more of the opposite, if that makes any sense. So let me know in the comments what you guys typically try to do. So yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the rare breed too. The other thing that I kind of stay away from a little bit with the is the sometimes higher proof things, only for me, only because that it gets to be maybe a little bit much, the heavier proof, the heavier food. So I don't always want something that's going to be super, super dominant, in that maybe 100 to 105 ish range is kind of a good wheelhouse for me when I'm kind of pairing those heavier foods. So, but that's me. So, what's Chris say? So Chris says, I'm usually a rare breed man on Thanksgiving, but cracked my first bottle of Remus 5. Oh, that's a fantastic one. So that, Chris, that's a good point. So like I was just saying before, in terms of like that wheelhouse, 100 proof, those are great, really well-balanced, blends that are in that Remus 5. So I would say from a sweetness standpoint, like that's a spot on bourbon to kind of pair with, again, those salty, rich kind of heavier foods. So yeah, I'd be right there. I'd be right there with you on that. So, all right. So what do you guys have? So one last thing we enjoyed on Thanksgiving, Bardstown, the prisoner has a cranberry sweetness. Oh yeah. Okay. I can see that go with the stuffing. And again, that's probably one of my favorite things to kind of, if I can work off of the stuffing with a whiskey, I can probably work with all of the other things. I mean, for some reason, I don't know what it is, that salty, kind of heavier kind of texture of a good stuffing is kind of the benchmark for that. So can't go wrong with a holiday toast from Lucky 7, Mark. I'm a fan of that too. I think that's a little bit, the nice thing I like about that is it doesn't necessarily drink like it's proof. And I think the holiday toast was in that like 115-ish range, if I'm not mistaken. So Woodford Double Oak, again, there's another sweet one, Dwayne. I'm all for that. Look at this guy changing his stuff. He got upset. So, oh man, poor guy. Oh, you got the old down there. You got the old turducken, turkey stuffed with duck stuffed with chicken, plus oyster jaw. Oh, that sounds mighty good if you ask me. So, all right, Robbie, what do you got here? So, guess Eagle Rare, know it all cousin, nice Jim Beam Blanton's bottle. The inner, so there you go, a little Jim Beam in a Blanton's bottle, doing a little trickery. So, what do we got here? Agreed. A finished rye goes great during the holidays. Couldn't agree more. Now, for me, I like that a little bit more. Like the heavier rye spice and kind of some of the saltiness doesn't. It's not my thing necessarily, but again, if that's what you prefer, then hey, more power to you. That if you like it, that's all that matters. But I could see where maybe having a rye whiskey that has a little bit more of that kind of candied sweetness that would kind of offset the salty and rich characteristics of that good meal. And that's kind of how I am honestly with cigars too. I rather than trying to mingle a little bit, I don't want two of anything ever like really competing that much. I want there to be differences of both. I mean, for me, the way I look at it, my logic is, why do I want to enjoy two of the same exact things? I want there to be some differences. So if I'm having a really nice, heavy, Nicaraguan cigar, maybe I want a bourbon that may have some proof, but is on the sweeter side. If I've got something that's maybe a little bit lighter, maybe I want something a little lighter cigar. Maybe I want something that's a little bit, spicier with the whiskey. So that's kind of how I look at pairings is more of an offset than it is trying to blend two things to allow for both of what it is you're enjoying to kind of shine through. So that's my logic. So what else we got here? That's okay. That sounds like the perfect time, Tony, to maybe get them into some whiskey. Start with some low proof stuff and see how it goes. The boss, Katie, good to see you. Hopefully, you and Ethan are going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. So, cheers to you guys. All right, so there you go. So I already picked up the Pfeiffer Pavitt Series 1, Joseph Mangus Cigar Blend, and Four Gate 4x4. Cam, you got some great whiskeys right there. So nothing wrong with those. I would perfectly be happy taking these or some ones that I've got kind of behind me on the shelves. Some great whiskeys, and again, I'm a fan of finished whiskeys, in general. But when it comes to the holiday stuff, like this is a rye, but it's the PX Sherry from Sagamore. I think that's a great run. 100 and what is this? 100 and like 106. Yeah, 106 proof. And for me, that's a great kind of pairing rye whiskey, considering it's finished. So, all right, what do you got, Mike? So the Cedar Ridge Port Cask Rye. I had that maybe 3 weeks ago, was able to try it when Jason and I were there. Thought it was really, really good port. Man, that thing was dark too, from what I remember. So, and good to see you, brother. All right, I'm now officially unsubscribing. I don't do the old I don't do the Scotch. I can see that. Honestly, I can see that when we did the single barrel pick for the Kaio Japanese whiskey, which is again 100% malted barley. That was a really rich whiskey, and one I could see would probably pair well with kind of a meal like that. I could see where the softness, a little bit of the malted barley from a Scotch could play really well. So, oh, awesome! We have some beautiful girls in here. That's pretty awesome. I like to see that. Maybe one of the mods can take care of the beautiful girls here. So, you've made it when you get the old porn bots. So, let's see here. What's the Waxter got? So, this is always a good question for Jeffrey. I know he really appreciates his finished whiskeys and stuff too. So, let's see. So, packing a whiskey bag right now to bring to Thanksgiving. Wild Turkey 12, love it. The 2XO, so that's Dixon Dedman's new one. Have not had that. Frey Ranch, perfectly good with that. Penelope Architect, another good one to have. So you got a nice little smorgasbord of some good whiskeys there. So yeah, and it doesn't seem like you're going to try to blow people away with proof either. And I'm kind of a fan of that. Like I think when things get a little bit too proofy, when you're pairing it with heavy meals, it may get to be a little bit much. Even though the more I'm kind of talking, the more I appreciate a higher proof, whether it's a high proof bourbon or high proof rye with a nice kind of heavy steak. But again, the steak can be a little bit more one dimensional. What I mean by is kind of like the fattiness of that. So the whiskey's kind of cutting through more of that than it is like a Thanksgiving meal where you're battling all these different kind of flavors and stuff. So, but yeah, with a great steak, finding a great rye or, maybe even a scotch or whatever it may be, good bourbon. I'm all in favor of that. So Maker's 46, Jay, you can't go wrong with that at all. Nice, easy pour right there. So, what else we got? So, cheers, Eric. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, fellow Wisconsinite, right there. What else we got here? Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, if you want to get a kind of a big sherry bomb on an American single malt, got no problem with that either. So, and again, I think with the malted barley, it has a tendency to still drink a little bit softer just because of what it is. But again, you add in that sherry influence, and depending on that influence, I think it could be a great one. So, yeah. So I mean, this is another one. So Mark, like the Russell's 10 rare breed, both fantastic, and so obviously the Russell's 10. I mean, that's something you can drink really anytime, but again, would pair really well. And if you're trying to pace yourself throughout the night with it only being 90 proof, that's kind of a nice one. Then you jump up to the old rare breed and kind of get the party started. So, what else we got here? Yeah, I love the Sagamore Double O. Got one down there, so it's a big fan of Sagamore. I still think people sleep on Sagamore a little bit too much. So what's Rob say? Sagamore Double Oak is a good one to have around for the guests and cocktails. Yeah, it's fantastic for both. So yeah, so I mean I'm kind of in that camp too. Like I don't mind the single malt, but the peated stuff just not my thing. But have no problem with the red wine. So I enjoy a good red wine with some meals. I'm not overly into wines, but if I am, like if I get like a nice kind of rich, heavier cab, especially with like a fatty steak, I like that. That's something I really appreciate. Nice Pinot or something is also a nice red wine. More of a red wine guy than anything else, but that's about it. Yeah, I made it when the beautiful girls start showing up in the chat. Then there you go. So, that's one. The John J. Bowman is not one, Dwayne, that I've had a lot of, and I would say honestly, it's been years since I've had any of it. So, yeah, definitely can't go wrong with the red wine at all. So. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think when you're in that, you're kind of in that element or mood for just kind of you want the flavor of that whiskey and you're not trying to necessarily compete with all of the other things. I totally get that. So all right, Doctor, what do you got? So while guests are here, Evan Williams Black Label and Larceny Small Batch are available. Also, the Knob Creek Smoked Maple is popular. The Knob Creek Single Barrel Pick is after they've gotten nice. So I see you hit the guests with some of the other stuff, and then when they leave, you pour the better stuff. So that's okay. All right, what's JG got here? Oh, if I mod you, let me see here. I thought you're not. Let me see. Let's change that, Jay. There you go. You should be officially a mod. So I think that's only a $5.99 a month, I believe. So I'll send you an invoice. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I love what some of the Starlight stuff we trade. So Jason and I, we've really been looking for a cognac finished whiskey, whether it's been bourbon, rye, whatever it may be, and we have just not been able to find one that has been worthy of kind of sharing with everybody in the club. But it's something we're on the hook of. We did kind of hook up with Backbone not long ago. They had sent us a few samples of some things, and there was a cognac finished one in there that we're kind of going to pump the brakes on a little bit. That was one that we like it. We think it's maybe going to get a little bit better, or if they have other ones, they'll send us samples for that. But yeah, you can't beat that, or a good Armagnac finish as well. So what else did I see? So yep, can't go wrong with the little EC toasted for sure. Oh, enjoy parenting. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Yeah, that sherry was a really, really underrated. I think what it is, Adam, that Sagamore is doing is just does not get talked about nearly enough. I mean, I think it probably has a lot to do with just the fact that it's not from Kentucky, it's not MGP. I mean, those two dominate everything within the whiskey world. So, what else we got here? Yeah, I mean, love almost everything that Sagamore does that they finish is fantastic. So I'm right there with you, Mark. What else we got here? Yep, cabs with steak. I'm all down for that. Ah, a $2.95. It's almost like a the old like $1 Chuck. I think I forget where the heck those were. I don't know where I used to get that $1 Chuck. Where was that? They were like wine. I don't know if that was like Boone's Farm or what that was. Seagrass, there's a good one. So Tim, that's kind of an interesting. That thing is all over the place. It would really be fun to kind of share with. I'm glad you said that. I might take that with me on Thursday and see who kind of enjoys that. That can be kind of a funky one. So hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate that very much. Keep them great reviews coming. Now, it's been a little slow. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff going on. I'm starting to get that hopefully ramp back up here in the next maybe week or so. I've got some kind of fun things coming. This was a sneaky good, actually two kind of smaller ones. I don't know if many people have seen this or not, but have you guys seen the Wheel Horse? But this is the toasted version. It actually just showed up one day at my door, and it was from the distillery, but I was actually very surprised as to how good it was. I mean, it was such an easy sipping little toasted bourbon. I was pleasantly surprised by how that was. Speaking of toasted bourbons, we'll get into this one in a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw this or are familiar with what this is or who does that, but I'll go over that. Actually, it's what I've got in my glass. And while I've got this, let me just say cheers to you guys. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone has a great Thanksgiving, spends again some quality time with friends and family. So cheers to all you guys, and thank you for all the continued support. I appreciate everything, you guys being here on a Tuesday night, having some fun, some pours, kind of chewing the fat a little bit. And I always appreciate every single one of you. So cheers, guys. That's a good little toasted bourbon that Mr. Records got from Barrel King. So if anyone's familiar with Barrel King, this is something that I believe they've got. I think you can buy it now. I don't know if Jared's in here or not right now, but I know they do everything basically through their membership stuff. But I'll have to find out a little bit more info on that as far as how and where you can pick that up. But again, that's another MGP in a toasted barrel. So really, it was really nice. I mean, it's a lot of that s'mores, burnt orange, a lot of that kind of nice rye spice, baking spices. Really, really nice little toasted bourbon he's got there. So, what else we got here? I got to try to catch up a little bit. So, Bring in the Wellers. All right, Steve, bring in the Wellers. Katie, what do you got here? So Ethan is a fan of the Wheel Horse, found a pick, Green River Juice, right? I bet the toasted is wonderful. I think I'm almost positive this is still the Green River stuff. Yeah. That's weird. It's bottled in Rhode Island. That's interesting, but it does say. Oh, and this is showing as okay. So the back says toasted barrel finish. This is the spring of 22 release, and it did. It showed up probably in spring, kind of later spring, early summer. Non-chill filtered. Does it say anything about Green River? It doesn't say, but oh yeah. So Owensboro. So yeah, that's Green River. So and they've really been doing some pretty fun things. I mean, especially with their new the Green River bourbon. That was a really nice one. So yeah, Katie, you kind of nailed it. And I think the regular Wheel Horse again is a nice little alternative to some things. So there he is. So yeah. So in terms of talking about the old road barrel proof toasted version, so you can get that in Missouri and through the membership. So definitely go check out Barrel King and Old Road Craft Distillery. And let's see, they're doing some great things. I mean, needless to say, we just did our cigar collaboration with them. That Jared did a incredible blend and sold those last Friday. So what else we got here? Yep, couldn't agree more. Love that Sagamore PX Sherry Finish Rye. Very good one. Yeah, and this thing that he's got that he did, I told him today, this little barrel proof toasted bourbon it's a nice little, again, with the MGP shine, but I think some of that, the other kind of flavors that were kind of coming through on this made it really nice, easy sipper. And I think this, again, like I was talking about before, where if you have a bourbon that's on the sweeter side competing with some of those other things. Now, again, typically it's probably a little bit higher proof slightly than I typically try to have with meals like that. But again, it drinks a little bit lighter than that. So that makes this one probably okay in that range. And again, I mean, you're with, friends and family. So hopefully you don't drink too much and are too bombed or anything right away. But so Mike, I think Fred had quite a few of those. Jason and I didn't have hardly any of them. But again, I don't know if it's maybe just the timing of things or whatever it may be. But yeah, there's still a few of those that were at Sealbox last time I checked as well. We don't have any of our bourbons left. I know there was a handful of our rye whiskeys that were still left. I don't know how many there are at this point now. There weren't that many left, but yeah. So I don't know why they're kind of still hanging around. So let me go back. So Doc, what do you got? Any opinion on the Wheel Horse Rye? You know what? It's not one that I've had yet, but I would really be interested in trying it. We don't get it around here, so I'd have to be somewhere to find it. Maybe next time I'm in Kentucky, I can try to find a bottle of it. I wouldn't mind kind of, finding that and then trying to do a review. I'm kind of digging what it is that Green River is doing. So it's interesting. Now I did see, and maybe you guys saw too, but Jacob Call, who was the head distiller at Green River, is no longer there. So I don't know what they're doing and how that transition will affect what they're doing at Green River. Now, again, Green River was purchased by Bardstown Bourbon Company, so who knows how that all will work. But Jacob Call from Green River now just started his own distillery, I believe. And I don't know where it was, and again, I don't have a lot of the details, but I saw that. And I didn't even realize he had left maybe a few months ago to start this new venture. But he and his father are very, very well known, definitely in Kentucky and for their craft. So, all right, what do you got, Mark? So M&J Woodinville pick, Apple Jacks in the glass. Nice. Okay, good. So I'll probably do. I've got a couple extra bottles that I'll probably do at some point a giveaway of. I still have them in the. These are mine are in the wrapper of mine. So I've got a couple extras that I'll probably end up doing a giveaway here in the next couple weeks. So give everybody a little chance to try some of the Woodinville stuff. If you're not part of the club, maybe it'll give you a little idea of kind of some of the things Jason and I like to do, and then getting everybody else involved. So, all right. So I figured this guy would know a little bit about this. So Mr. Ritter, new distillery in Western Kentucky, Beaver Dam. I don't know if Beaver Dam is the city, or is that the name of the distillery? Beaver Dam Distillery. All right, I guess that's one interesting thing, but what else we got? Oh, Beaver Dam is the city. Okay, never heard of it. So, where, Todd? Where are they doing, or where is that distillery? So, in terms of, I guess the main distilleries, is there one that it's closer to? I mean, I'm not familiar with that at all. So, JG, what do you got? So, I picked up a bottle of the Green River when I was there in Kentucky. It is good. I'm assuming, Jay, you're talking about the rye whiskey, unless you're talking about or are you talking about the actual Green River? So a bottle of the Green River. Yeah, it was. I mean, for its price, I mean, I think it's, don't quote me if I'm wrong, maybe $30 or something like that. I thought it was a pretty solid, I guess I'll say, everyday sipping kind of bourbon. So I think it's a good one too. So what's up, nerd? I saw you were having a good time down there in Iowa. I wish I could have been a part of that. So, that would have been a lot of fun. I saw you were with a fun group. That would have been an awesome time. So hopefully you had a good time down there, and it looks like you were picking barrels and stuff again. So that's awesome. All right, $32. Yeah, I mean for $32, I mean, Jesus, you can't go wrong. I mean, even if it's not a great sipper, use it for a cocktail or something like that. And that's a whiskey that's perfectly fine, I think, for either one. And I don't remember if that was actually a bottle and bond, if that was 100 or a 90 proofer. I forget exactly what the Green River was. So, but anyway, yeah, I guess going back to the Old Road barrel proof toasted, really nice little bourbon, darker than heck. I mean, this is, and you guys will see the color. I mean, look at that. Now, that's one thing I've always praised Jared about, like what they are able to do down there in Bourbon, Missouri. Love that. So not too far from St. Louis. I mean, summers are hot, so they're getting a lot of those. And I think they do some moving of the whiskey from the barrels, maybe even into a couple of smaller ones. But you're getting a lot of these different flavors, and I love the influence of the oak without it being overly done. He's done a really, really nice job, and I've told him with a lot of these things that he's been doing, he's done a really, really nice job with some of these blends, and that'll be a nice kind of flagship, I think, whiskey for them. So outside of all the Barrel Kings. So here's something without giving away too much. This is a Barrel King sample of something, but look at the color on that. If you notice the color of the wax, you'll have to let me know what that may or may not remind you of. So might give you a little idea of something that we're maybe working on with Barrel King for the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. Speaking of the devil, he just tried it today. So good to see you, brother. It was interesting. Now I used the old method. I don't know who the heck it was that came up with it, but I tried using a cigar torch that I've got to melt the wax on top because I didn't want to slice my finger off. Well, in doing so, it must have loosened the wax around like the synthetic cork. I went to pull it off. It came off, it left the damn cork in the bottle, and had to wait for, I just stick it back on, wait for it to basically solidify again and or dry or get cool until it would friggin' come off again. So it was a little bit of a shit show is what it was, but eventually it worked. And anyway, so it's so yeah, as you can see, you got a little purple top there, and you can see where I kind of did the melting. You can see the top where the cork and everything is, but it was interesting. I had the whole my office was smelling like melted wax and stuff. So, warm water. I'll tell you what, like, I'm just not a fan of like wax. It's just always a pain in the ass. It's like everything with wax, unless there's a tab. And usually with my luck, it's short or it breaks or something. I have the worst luck with wax, but whatever. So I don't know, Greg. It may not be. I don't know. Purple top BK. I don't know. Maybe that will be something that maybe we'll we still have to confirm a few things with Jared and run a few things by Jason before we do any of that stuff. So yeah, yes, exactly. So that was something I was trying to stay away from, but thanks for pointing that out, Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was so excited to kind of get into it just to try it. I didn't want to sit down there all day with a damn chisel trying to get through some freaking wax. And so now maybe I'll try the hot water method next time. That's a little, yeah, it was. I felt bad for the bottle. I was hoping I wasn't going to like screw anything up, but it didn't. But I didn't even need to. So Troy, so what happened was the topper came off of the synthetic cork. So the cork literally separated from the top part. I just stuck it back on there. It all went back together. And now just to kind of prove it, watch it, probably won't work. We're good. So those two, so that little part there where you see the kind of purple wax and then the cork, those two separated. So when I pulled that off, the black part of the purple part came off and the damn cork was left in the bottle. So yeah, it was running a bit of a shit show, but needless to say, it all was worth it in the end. Once I was able to try the whiskey, it all kind of made up for itself. So how's it going, Wesley? Good to see you, brother. I think I saw there's Aim. Good to see you, Amy. Good to see you. Appreciate that. Good to see you as always. Yeah. So the squib game, yeah, that was a fun one. That was a blend. That was a no-brainer when we kind of did that and paired it ultimately with the cigar. And speaking of that, if there's anyone in here who is into cigars and wants a nice 4-pack of what it was that Jason and I did, let me give you. So this was here is the link. I don't know how many of these there are left, but I'll post it in here. And that will give you guys, if you want to check out what cigarclub.com's got going and what the blend of the cigar that we were able to do was. So you guys are more than welcome to check that out. So, but but as far as Mike, as far as that squib game went, the blend that we ultimately chose, that again Jared was responsible for putting together, turned out fantastic. So, all right, Wade, what do you got for me, Scott? Nice to know I have a company when opening wax bottle. FYI, I broke my wine cutter trying to open up my wax. Wax, I'll tell you, it's just now I'm gonna have to somehow figure out again. I'm gonna try the hot water method because man, it's just a pain in the ass. I don't know why I even thought of any of this stuff, but anyway, so good to see you. It's okay. Better late than never, right, Jim? What else we got? All right, so I'm not sure which one this is, if this is Todd or Andy, but if it's big, bald, and beautiful, Good to see you, brother. And if it's Andy, as always, good to see you, brother. Yes, and there's another guy who was part of the collaboration that we did. So I actually have got mine. Hopefully, I'll find a little bit of time. Mine have been in my humidor now, trying to get kind of proper humidification for the last maybe few days since I got mine. So I'm looking forward to hopefully them having some more humidity and everything to them. And I'm looking forward to kind of getting into that. Hopefully, maybe while I'm off, I'll try to find an hour or two and get to a lounge somewhere. Yep, couldn't agree more. The Sagamore Sherry is amazing, better than Midwinter's Night Dram. I like the influence of this more than the Midwinters. I've never been a huge fan of it personally, of the Midwinters, but hey, again, to each their own. So, yeah, I saw Mark. So it looks like a few of these are starting to hit now. So it looks like Sealbox has done the delivery, and some of those are starting to hit people pretty soon. I know I got a couple messages, and maybe Jared can even answer this in the chat, but I got a couple messages today asking when the Squib Game bottles may start to kind of ship, just to kind of give everybody an idea. But as far as that 4-gate rye, so I'm glad to see that it arrived. Can't wait for people to kind of get into that. What I will say, and I've told a couple other guys who were asking about the M&J rye, the 4-gate rye, is let that thing rest a little bit. Even when you pour it off the neck and it gets in the glass, if you can let that thing sit 10, 15 minutes, if possible, let it get to kind of room temperature, maybe even warm it up with your hand a little bit in the glass, it'll really start to open up nicely. That's always my experience often with 4-gate is just, letting their stuff kind of open up a little bit, and it kind of, you'll be rewarded at that point. So, try pipe cutter. Yeah, maybe it is what I need. I'll tell you, Terrence or Tim, it's I was making a mess it was it wasn't too bad. It was starting to melt down the side, but it wasn't that bad. But I was a little concerned that I had maybe messed something up once that top came off there. But all right, Bob, what do you got? Random, but wondering what your thoughts are on the Elijah Craig C922. I don't know. That's the only one that I've not had yet. It was my favorite of the last 2 years, and wondering what you think, as I haven't seen a review from you. Yeah, Bob. So I don't have that one yet. I haven't seen it in my area. I probably should start paying a little bit more attention. I'd love to do it. I'm a huge fan of those. I mean, usually what I try to do with the Elijah Craig is I like to open it and at least give it a couple weeks, open in the bottle before I do a review. I think with a lot of those and a lot of these higher proof, heavier bourbons, doing a neck pour review, I don't think necessarily does those whiskeys justice. I think often they change, for the better, by allowing that to kind of happen. So, or to open up a little bit. So if I do find one, Bob, then I'd be happy to do a review. And it's one that I'm kind of looking forward to. I mean, considering we're all the way into November now, so it probably won't be that much longer before the A123 will be arriving. So, but I'm looking forward to hopefully getting my hands on that bottle. So, all right, Sergey, what do you got? So my BK just shipped. Yes. Oh, okay. All right. So cool. So some people are starting to get some of the notifications on that. So I know Jared was kind of Johnny on the spot. So shipping. All right, there you go. So for any of the other guys, I'll make a post probably in Patreon to a couple of the other guys later, just so they start knowing. So shipping starts tomorrow and should finish Friday. Okay, awesome. So I appreciate that. Thanks, brother. All right, so Johnny's stuff has gone out too. So these are a couple of the other ones I was looking for too, and I know. Last time I was there, I was in Kentucky when they kind of released the other R2D2s or whatever the other ones were before. So I was kind of right place, right time, and got in on those early, but haven't seen those yet either. So yeah, it's just been. I'll tell you what, man. 2022 for me has been like a whirlwind. Myself, Jason, we've spent an awful lot of time, with everything through the Whiskey Club, and in all honesty, Jason does a far better job of tracking down all of these new releases. I'm like, it gets to the point where it's like exhausting and trying to get every single new release and get it released shortly thereafter it's kind of been out is just it's a lot of work. I mean, I give them props for kind of staying on top of that. I'll mix in some things here and there, and I probably do a little bit more. I guess I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe some other things that others don't always do, I'll say. Like, I've done some of the Barrel King stuff. I really appreciate some of those. I just got this not long ago, and I think this is something that's been out for a little while. That Ben Holiday, great little bottle and bond. Again, another smaller distillery out of Missouri. But again, I'll probably be doing a review of the Old Road toasted barrel proof. Again, it's another one. So, those are fun things I like to do. I mean, some of the other guys, Jason and others, they get on top of these others so quickly that it's, I mean, I just don't have always the time to kind of chase a lot of these things down. So therefore, I'm not kind of Johnny on the spot when it comes to some of those. But I appreciate everyone, at least, enjoying my opinion, whether you agree or not, or it's not right when it comes out. I think still people appreciate, and I do. I still go watch Jason's stuff or other people's and want to get other perspective of the whiskey. Even if I don't have it at the time, I enjoy kind of getting other people's perspective. So, hey TK, are you finally out of the combine or whatever? I know you've been working your ass off. I've seen some pictures and stuff. So, yeah, where's our Squib Games? We did the damn thing. We don't get any notifications at all. So, but no, he has. I mean, I echo that. He's been absolutely amazing with our group and continues to be, and will hopefully it'll continue to be that, because he's afforded us the opportunity to kind of get some really fun, different, unique things and be able to kind of share his passion and his whiskey with us as well. And it just keeps on getting better. I mean, I talked to Jared quite a bit, and it's constantly like one more thing. And it's something that's just like one-upping all the time. Like I'm amazed to hear what he's always got going on. So, he's personally shipping yours. I wonder if that's gonna be like a hand delivery. I wonder if he's on his way to Columbus as we speak. So maybe. What do we got here? OG. The wood finish there is the M&M. Yeah, I think they are. I think they still are the similar in price for our MSRP, and I think that's fair for what they're doing. I mean, Makers is always, I think, priced as good as anyone. I think they do a fantastic job of still having some of these kind of limited releases or limited editions that people don't go overly crazy for, that you can still find and are priced really well. So, yeah, the samples, like it was crazy. I mean, there was, yeah. So we were chatting about this before I went live. This guy right here, without confirming what it is, because we got to get some more details and maybe talk to Jared a little bit more. But whatever it is that's in this that you guys see, I mean, look at that color that's there. This is not modified or anything. So, maybe not. Might be coming to Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. We'll have to wait and see. So, all right, there you go. Hopefully, you can be done with it on Friday. So, what's up, brother? Good to see you. All is well here. So hopefully everything is good with the new baby and everything well. So, what do we got here? Let's see. What do we got from Mark? Perfect pairing is what makes business work. M&J works. Thanks for all of both of you do. And Mash and Journey. Thanks, brother. Well, appreciate you supporting what it is we do. We're glad that you're happy with that. So if you guys are happy, we're happy. So. Jared, you're doing great stuff. Yep, I told him all the time. So couldn't agree more. Yep, we're always working on some fun things. So That's not one I've seen. Yeah, I saw some photos of it, but I haven't seen or even heard what anyone's kind of thoughts were on that. The West Virginia Great Barrel Company bourbon was. Yeah, Maker's Mark original motto was it tastes expensive because it is, right? You know, I don't I don't think it's like overly expensive. I mean, you're getting like like for instance, their cast strength like weeded bourbon probably in that 6 year ish range for $35 for a cast strength weeded bourbon. Man, that's I have no problems with that. I think it's a great price. So yeah, that's if you're referring to that one with the that purple mess on top, then yeah, that's to be determined. So I don't want to share the label yet. So if I start spinning it around, then everybody's going to like pause things and try to figure out what exactly that is. But let's see if I can kind of tease it. Oh, look at that. It's right. Let's see if I move that. That might still not going to show too much. Oh yeah, no, look at that. So I get a little bit of a little teaser on the top there. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah, when you open up that black one. Yeah, I might not even open up that black one. That thing is like thick. I'm gonna have to soak that. I might have to take a bath with that thing. That was bad. That didn't even sound good. So I'm gonna rewind that. So yeah, that black wax. That's some thick stuff. So what else we go? So hey, brother, good to see you. If anyone has not checked out, so Josh is. Let me try to do the DWYD on Instagram. Huge cigar whiskey guy. So if you're on Instagram, go check out DWYD on Instagram. You'll see what I'm talking about. Great content on Instagram. So yeah, I'll tell you, ridiculous wax. What do we got here? So Cam said Dusty Dan and Mash and Drum did great reviews of the BBC. Oh, okay. So all right. Apparently I must have missed those. So I was slacking there, I guess. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, you can't for under $30 for Maker's cast strength. I mean, it's a bargain. I think it's a bargain. I'm a fan of it. I enjoy that profile, but it's a good one. So let me do this. I think what I wanted to do was before we kind of wrap anything up, with it being kind of Thanksgiving and all of that, I want to be able to have a little bit of wild turkey. This is one of the older. I don't even know when this is from. This is an older rare breed. Anybody tell me when that one is? So that one is the 112.8. I don't know if that's the 2000 maybe 18, but I've had this one downstairs for quite a while, but I want to pour a little bit of wild turkey of some sort with you guys, with it being Thanksgiving. And I'm thankful for everything that you guys do, for us and just being there, supporting what it is that we do with the Whiskey Club and what I do on the channel, and really just everything that we all do and we try to bring to you guys, and the relationships and everything. I mean, it's definitely a two-way street, and we fully appreciate all of that more than you guys know. So I know Jason and I, for next spring, we're in the works of, when I say we, mainly Jason, in terms of getting all that stuff set up. We're trying to work on something, I believe, in early-ish part of May next year, out in Sagamore. So we're going to do kind of like a meetup and try to get as many people in. We'll have food and music and all kinds of good stuff. Different. Will obviously be at Sagamore, but a lot of really, really fun things. So that will be Oh, 2016. Holy Christ. I've had that thing that long. My God. Okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, so next spring we'll be doing a meetup out at Sagamore, and that'll be fun, and hopefully get a chance to meet an awful lot more of you guys. And I mean, that's kind of the whole idea, is to eventually meet up and do some more of these things. And then I'll say maybe either this winter or again early spring or something. What I want to try to do is, there are a lot of guys that are out here by me here in the Midwest, whether it's Illinois, Missouri, Minnesota, all of these. I'd like to try to do a little bit of a Midwest kind of meetup with a lot of you guys and ladies, and try to do something along those lines as well. So it's a lot of stuff in the works, but we'll make something work for sure. So. I don't know, maybe Dunny, maybe Illinois, maybe Chicago. I mean, I don't know if it'll be that or like at a distillery here, but I want to make it where it's still, somewhat close for a lot of the people kind of in this general area. Cause where I'm at, I mean, it's definitely no more than 2 hours from Chicago to where I am. And so that would be kind of a fun thing. Well, I'll get some more stuff planned, and then as it gets closer to maybe kind of doing a meetup and securing a place, kind of like what Jason and I are doing for the Sagamore thing, it'll probably be like, one day and, at a particular venue, and try to get something like that. But we'll definitely do something. So. Yeah, I would love that Midwest and cigar meetup. So that's something that's kind of again on the table for sure. And maybe even you and I can chat a little bit about kind of setting something like that up. But that'd be a really fun thing. And again, it's just another way or avenue to be able to, meet with you guys, shoot the shit for a day, an evening, whatever it may be, and just kind of have a good time, share some bottles, whatever it may be, try to get something really, really fun. So could always do something like that. That'd be a fun thing too. I mean, for me to get to St. Louis, whether driving or flying is both a pretty simple way. So no. How's it going, Tyler? I flew into Milwaukee and then drove 2 hours north of Green Bay for the Packers game in September. First time in Wisconsin, beautiful state. Yeah, I mean, I think Wisconsin's a great state. I mean, I mean, we've got a lot. We have more going on here than I think a lot of people can imagine. Obviously, it gets a little cold in the winter, but other than that, it's a great state. I've loved being here. So. Maybe a Chicago one would be. I'd have to kind of find out and talk to a couple guys down in Illinois, see what would maybe work or something like that. But yeah, maybe. We'll work on something. That'll be that. Maybe even that'll be a summer thing next year or whatever, when it's nice and everybody can kind of get out. And if we do like a whiskey and cigar thing, we'll have to have a venue that will have a nice outdoor kind of area. So we'll see what we can kind of come up with. So, let's see. All right. So all right. Hey, Johnny. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's talking about Florida. I'm not sure if that was Wisconsin or Florida or wherever that was, but. Yeah, there's really a lot more going on than people can even imagine, here. So, but we'll definitely figure something out. So, but anyway, so cheers to you guys. Appreciate everybody joining tonight. And again, thanks for literally everything. So, oh man, that even kind of smells like kind of old and dusty. I wouldn't say that smells much like the newer rare breeds. It's interesting. Oh man, It's got a nice little oak presence on it too. Some nice sweet citrus as well. Yeah, rib reed. That's another, as far as I'm concerned, a bit of an underrated bourbon. Man, it's a lot of citrus on that. Maybe it's just the airtime or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, 2016. That thing must have been sitting around for a while. Shit, that's a problem. A lot of us, we have so much whiskey, you can barely even get to things half the time. I mean, you need people to come over just to drink all of this shit. So anyway, but yeah, Cam, thanks. Appreciate all the support. I mean, this goes to each and every one of you. I mean, it's a great community. I've been fortunate to meet a lot of you guys. Some I haven't. Looking forward to that. Just kind of developing relationships with everyone. I mean, Jared, we kind of met this year. Kind of met down in Kentucky when we did the Peerless pick. So that was awesome getting to finally meet him. But yeah, that's just it's such a it's a big community when you look at it from different perspective, but it feels small, which is nice because I see a lot of you guys, same faces, or same names, and it will be really great one day to finally put the name and the face together, in person. So I mean, that's something that I really appreciate. I mean, I love being able to get out and meet people and do barrel picks with people. And again, that was like with the club. That was one of the things that Jason and I talked about, was getting people involved as much as we can. Now, sometimes when they're coming, fast and furious with the picks, if we're doing them virtual, sometimes we just have to kind of, bear down and just him and I do them just from a time standpoint. But if we can do things in person, especially if they're going to be, big ones, or we're going to go to a distillery or, wherever it is we go, we want to get you guys involved. I mean, that's important to us. And, he and I appreciate it because, I mean, in all honesty, we could do all of this stuff, but I don't think it would make it as special, as personable. And yeah, so, I mean, it really is important for us to get you guys involved in that. So we'll take you over here. Come on, David. No worries there, bud. Love me some Henry McKenna. Yep, I have 2 Henry McKennas that I purchased 2 years ago. Still haven't opened it. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Henry McKenna. I mean, I wish you could find it. It seems, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's started to show back up a little more, like, regularly. I don't know if that is for you guys, but there are some people I know that say they see it on the shelves quite a bit. I know Kelsey sees the McKenna quite a bit by him as well, and I think still priced pretty good, maybe around that $50 price point, which I think is a great price still for that bourbon. Maybe it's gone up a little bit more from a MSRP standpoint, but I'm a fan of the McKenna stuff too. So, so I'm curious. So, OG, what was the price of the McKenna? Okay, so in my area, it's up to 50 to 70. Okay, all right. So, yeah, that doesn't. I guess it doesn't really surprise me. So, $60. I mean, again, still, you're talking about a 10-year-old bourbon, 100 proof. Man, it's kind of tried and true. I mean, I still don't have a problem with that. I mean, considering what you get for a lot of those, a lot of bourbons that are out there. I mean, everything's gone up in price that we're all very, very, aware of. So, why wouldn't bourbon go up? The popularity, all of those things are going to, drive the prices higher. So, I mean, we can't get so locked into prices just a few years ago that we all like to, to see, but it is what it is. So yeah, again, I don't have a problem at $60. I mean, I know when it used to be 35, 40, that was great, but it's just not that anymore. So, last 2 bottles of McKenna I purchased $80. All right. So, again, if you enjoy it that much, I still think that would probably be $80 for me on the McKenna. that'd probably be my top dollar that I'd want to spend on it. So I think last year I got 2 of them for $100. I think they were $50. So, but that's not bad. So, all right. So Amy sees them $55. So again, I think it's still a good value. I mean, at 50, $55, $60, I think you're okay. Oh man, this is crazy. $33 at Costco in Arizona when I was there over Easter. Oh my God, that's what a steal that is. I'd have bought as many of them as they would have let me probably at that kind of price. That's a great, I mean, for $33 to have that whiskey as like, let's say your daily sipper, man, that'd be a great one, man. That's a score right there, Brandon. All right, starting to see some Buffalo Trace stuff. Yeah, we don't see much here in Wisconsin for the most part. So no, we don't see much Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace. A lot of that trickles in every now and then on some kind of like allocation or whatever the hell it may be, but we don't see a lot of it. And it seems to be that way most places, to be honest. So it's always fun when you can kind of get out of town and search some different places, and then you get there and realize, man, this place is the same as where I live, where you don't find shit at all. Actually, Wisconsin's not too bad for the most part. There are some things we get, but not much Buffalo Trace stuff. Let's see. Finally found barrel number 33. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming you're talking about found barrel number 33 today. Are you talking about actual barrel bourbon number 33, like batch 33? Curious. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you can find the Eagle Rare for, and again, I think they've even started age dating them again as 10 years on the front as a single barrel, I believe. If you can find them for in that, I'll say less than $40. I'd say it's a buy if you're looking for just a nice, easy sipping, bourbon. So, let's see. Yeah, barrel bourbon. Okay. Yeah, I think what they're doing is pretty amazing stuff too. I mean, they're blenders. I mean, it's what they're known for. Let's see what else we got here. So John says, I work right across the Minnesota border from Hudson. All right. That cluster of Wisconsin liquor stores are good for hunting. Went to an event at Casanova recently. All right. That's kind of interesting with that kind of border crossover right there in terms of what you're able to find versus what you're not. So I know at times Minnesota and Wisconsin can get some vastly different allocation, and it's kind of interesting probably being there, you being up in Hudson. That's interesting. So that's cool. What else we got here? So all right, so I mean, $50 for, I don't know, I mean, I guess if you like it that much, but I mean, I've got a few bottles, they're older ones that are downstairs, but it's only because, I mean, I've got other things to drink. I mean, it's not, I'll say like that special of a bourbon. It's an average at best bourbon, I would say for me. But $50, I don't know if I'd want to spend $50 or not on it. But again, hey, to each their own. If it's worth $50 to you and you want to buy it, then it's your right. So I have hordes of Eagle Rare bunkered. So, I mean, I guess I get it. I know FOMO kicks in with a lot of this stuff. It's crazy. All right, $44 in Indiana. All right. I mean, guess I'm fine at that price too. So, I bought a handle of Eagle Rare for $60 around 3 years ago. A handle of it. Was that just the big tall bottle, like the 175? I don't remember it having a handle on it, and maybe that's just what you're calling it. But I think I remember seeing 175s of Eagle Rare. So What else we got here? All right, what do you got here? So, oh man, that's a mouthful. Let's see. So this Thanksgiving we will be having 1792 for cocktails mixing. I'm assuming 1792 small batch. Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye for sipping. Got some of that right on the other side of the camera. Fantastic stuff. And Angel's Envy for after dinner dessert. All right, there you go. So you're covering all bases right there. Can't go wrong with that at all. So man, $65 for the old 175s of that. I don't even know if they even make it or not anymore. So oh yeah, let's not even get going on the whole Bland's thing. I mean, $60, everyone's gonna buy Bland's probably for $60 just because of what it is. I mean, I don't really care, for it. It's a good bourbon. I've got a few of them from back in the day, but I don't really have any interest in seeking it out or anything like that. So yeah, so like once in a while we will get some of the stuff that will pop up here and maybe a good price depending on where it is. There you go. So Eagle Rare at Total Wine, $32. I mean, they're still out there where you can find some of these deals on things. I guess I say deal. I mean, it's not that expensive anyway, but I like it more at that price than I do, $50. I don't know if I'd be overly excited about paying $50 for Eagle Rare, but whatever. What else we got? So, all right, we'll kind of wrap things up here a little bit in a minute or two, but yeah, 36 versus 66. Okay, so I'm assuming that's the 750 versus like the 175. So, all right. I mean, if you can find that, but yeah, I mean, I guess depending on price and if there's one that you prefer flavor wise over the others, then no argument there. I mean, we all get into that trap or that battle of good and bad and everything. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's all completely subjective, and whatever it is you prefer more than the other, then that's what's right for you. So, I mean, we get into that battle all the time of a lot of people wanting to tell us like what's good and bad. I think I understand where when people say that where they're trying to come from, but like when people like flat out just trash certain things for the whiskey itself, maybe not all of the antics that go on, surrounding that brand or whatever it is, aka Blanton's. I get it. It's a good bourbon, but at the end of the day, is it like worth doing some of the things that people do for it? In my opinion, no, it's not. But hey, to each their own. All right. $65, man. I don't know. I guess, I mean, $80 is probably the max I would ever pay for that. But, again, it is what it is. So. Okay, so all right, why don't we wrap things up? I'll let you guys get on with your evening, but I want to say thanks, guys, for again all the support to me, the channel, our whiskey club, all of that. We are very appreciative of all of that, and without you guys, I mean, again, we would just be talking to ourselves into a camera or whatever it may be. And that would just be the definition of a crazy person. Even though things feel crazy at times, it's all worth this. So, thank you guys for really everything that you offer to us and the support. We can't say thank you enough, for all of that. So I think with that being said, again, cheers guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Take some time, slow things down a little bit, enjoy some good whiskey, enjoy some friends and family. It's important to kind of do that as stressed as a lot of people are these days. It's important to kind of slow things down. And that's always one of the things that I've appreciated about whiskey is it allows you to kind of do that, allows you to do that maybe with good friends and all of that. So, anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate all the support. And I'm going to try to get back to doing more routine, just regular Tuesday night live streams. There'll probably be some mixed in Mash and Journey stuff here and there, but I'll still be able to try to get in and do some of these things and hopefully start doing more where I can open it up to you guys. If you're interested in doing some of these where you kind of get on and we just kind of, shoot the shit a little bit, have a good time. That's important to me is extending the community, bringing you guys in, involving, doing all of that. So that's important to me. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining me tonight, spending an hour and 15 minutes listening to me ramble on. So thanks again, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you next Tuesday. Cheers, guys. Thanks for everything. We'll see you.